Okay, welcome. Now, this is my YouTube channel. You can enjoy more. Subscribe, follow, and like. Welcome to part 3 of the myth Fire Your Boss. This is talking about side hustles, that you can do with your 9 to 5. This is my favorite, and it's going to be ongoing. I'll say the ones I can right now. Watch out for the next episodes. Remember, you can follow, subscribe, and like. So, for your 9 to 5, what are the side hustles? Number 1, you must determine whether your side hustle is going to be passive or active. And I'll explain what I mean by passive or active. Active means it's going to involve your physical, mental, direct input. Okay, and passive means you don't have to be involved to make it happen. Okay, let me give you just a straight example. If, for instance, you decide that from all your income, from your salary, you're going to take out a fraction and invest in someone else's business, or you're going to give out some money that have a definite return on investment in mutual funds, in some paper assets, those are passive. But the active ones, that's what I'm going to talk about right now. What are the active ones? Are you a wordsmith? Do you write very well? Then you can start writing for people. You can be a ghostwriter. You can write books for people and charge a fee. You can help them to proofread or edit. Those are things you can do on the side. You can do at your break time. You can do it after work. You can do it when you've delivered on your KPI. So that becomes a side hustle and you can get paid for it. What's another one? Driving your car for commercial. I don't want to mention any group, there's so many of them. Go something, ooh something, or whatever. Drive your car. Register with those companies. And then on your way to work, pick a passenger that is going your route. And then you make money. Or you agree with some people, I'll take you X place and bring you back, on your route. I'm not saying give your car out to someone to go and drive and damage. Use your car and be your own driver on the route that you would automatically normally take. That becomes a side hustle that would accrue something into your pocket. Do you like teaching? Do you like imparting knowledge? Then be a tutor. There are so many people living abroad that want their children to learn the local language. Can you speak Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo very well, or any of your native dialects? Why don't you create a YouTube video or an online trading course? Market and say, I can teach your children how to speak Yoruba, how to speak Hausa, how to speak Efik or Udoma, whatever it is. You can be a teacher. Or you did so well in mathematics, English, physics, in your high school or university, you can be a teacher. Those become side hustles that you do, and then people will be willing to pay for you. I'm talking about different things you can do as a side hustle and you can make money for. What about you're a professional, you're an architect, you're working in a design company or architectural firm? What about saying to all your neighbors, your friends, your family members that you can design their homes? And they'll pay you for it. Well, maybe you're a medical doctor. You're working in Lasut or Lut. What about having a clinic in your house where you consult? Consultation fee is there. You just pay another person, another nurse who is doing something as a side hustle, who will be with you in the clinic. Or you're a dentist. These are things you can do, you can make money from. But you did not know and you just took it for granted. Or you're a lawyer. You're working in a firm. You can still write contracts. You can still do mergers and acquisition on your own. You can still register businesses for people. You can still help them to verify their claims at the land registry. These and many more things you can do on your own at your spare time, and it would not hurt anybody. Are you an accountant? Do you want to help people audit their books? Right now, some people need to do, business plan. They need to have the return on investment. They need to make some calculations. You can do this. Or a financial review or annual returns, tax returns. You can do it. Are you a surveyor? Okay, you work even with the government. What about on your weekends and your public holidays? You can survey for people and charge well for this. I'm talking about side hustles, legitimate, that you can engage in. Now, when I'm talking about you driving, even if you're not in Nigeria, you're abroad, where you have to file your tax returns. Do you know that when you say you're an Uber driver, okay, all your phone bills and some other bills and your car repairs can go into, your expenses on the car, and it reduces your tax bracket? These are things you need to know. You can also be a consultant. Based on what you have learned in your 9 to 5 space, you take it to some other things and consult for them, on several other aspects. So what about monetizing your talent or hobby? What's your hobby? You like shopping? Shop for people. You like organizing, help people to organize their office, their homes. You can write a poem, have spoken word. What about, that's your talent, that's a natural gift. Monetize it. What about dancing? Teach people to dance, okay? Teach people to dance. There are a lot of mommies like me, over 50 that we like to shed some weight. What about gathering 2, 3, 4, 5 of them? Tell them to pay you X amount every Saturday morning. You love to dance. They want to lose some weight. So teach them some, something to bring money into your pocket and make them to shed some weight. What about designing? Okay, you like to design space, the landscaping, okay, like you want to teach people how to handle their gardens. You want to look for exotic plants and do things. I'm talking about active things you can engage in your 9-to-5 space. And these little things you can do even with a simple website or door-to-door marketing or just referral. And you can even have a multi-level scheme on it that you tell people, if you refer me, I'll reduce 10% or 20% from your next payment. What about cooking? Some people are talented cooks. I have 3 children. One of them is a terrific, beautiful cook. So he just loves to cook. What about cooking? You may even have a signature recipe that you make every once a week and people will order for it. I know someone that makes a pankuko. I think it's one food from Calabar. People love it. Just make it. Some people make terrific cake. I know one person that a cake, even for a weight loser, you can't resist it. What skill do you have? Don't despise it. Do something about it and make money from it. I'm talking about in your 9-to-5 space, what are the side hustles you can engage in that can bring money? What's another thing? I'm still talking about the active. Learn and deploy your skills. Okay, during the lockdown in the university, a lot of young ladies and men went to learn how to make makeup, the headgear, the gele. It's traditional attire for Africans. We always have the headgear, and it's become something that your outing is not complete until you do that. If you learn how to do it, then you can tell your friends, whenever you have a party, call me. I tie one gele, maybe 500, maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000, and you tie for 10 people or 20 people. Each one does not take you more than 10 minutes, and you just roller coast, some thousands, to the bank on that day. So it becomes a side hustle, and they begin to know you. You understand? There are so many young people. There's the best gele person in Lagos is a guy. He's not even a girl. So don't say, oh, it's for girls. No, you can do it. Men are doing makeup. Women are doing makeup. Bridals. People pay so much money. You can just specialize in how to do bridal hair, okay, or bridal accessories. You can learn these skills and you can deploy them alongside your 9-to-5. What about photography? Right now with the COVID, people are not doing parties as they were, and so people do a lot of their photo shoots for their birthdays, for their anniversaries, and so many things. So for the 1-year-old, have themes. So engage in photography, make it a total package. We will do your photo book, we will do your photography, we will do your makeup, we will do your decoration. These are things you can do at a designated time and space that does not affect your 8-to-5. What about phone and laptop repairs? These are technical things. I know one of my proteges also who works in an engineering company, but who has been by himself repairing his own phones and laptops and stuff like that. And I said, why are you staying on that? Advertise to people that you can repair their phones and laptops and make some money from it. And most of the time, some people just come and say, I want to trade it in. The phone is bad. Buy it for them for peanut. You go and trade it in for a higher sum and make money off it. You're not defrauding anybody. What about farming? Food is something. Remember, in my last video, I talked about how you need to save on food. It goes to tell you that eating is inevitable expense. Get involved in farming. Either you have a small farm or you invest in the farming process. It's not just, in fact, the least money is made from planting and harvesting. More money is made from the farming process. You can invest in irrigation for farming. You can invest in supplying tractors for farming. You can invest in transportation from the farm to the final destination, and many, many more things. So what about also learn and learn? What do I mean by that? In these days of the pandemic, when most things are done, remotely, you need to understand the local area network and the wide area network. How can you become, if you're an expert at that, you're doing that in your office, you can set up that for people in your spare time at their small offices or the new studio that they're trying to create. That becomes a side hustle that you can make money from. Network marketing is another thing. You see, there are so many of them. Let me tell you the secret and the ideology of the network marketing. They have good products most of the time that are tested and proven. But they want to save costs on advertising. So they want to use your network to be able to sell. Find out how you can also do that. Get your own product, proven and tested, and use the network marketing strategy to be able to disseminate that information and get it to the end user. What can you do very well? Network on it. Leverage on your network. Don't despise it. These are the things you should do. Spread your tentacles in your 9-to-5 space and take advantage of it. Then what about equipment repairing and installing? So maybe in your office you have servers. Maybe in your office you put computers together. Your Windows, you can build it from the scratch. If you can do that, why don't you tell someone? You don't need to buy a branded system. I will clone a system for you. And then you put it together. Save the person some cost and get a fraction of it. So it is important. I'm trying to tell you different side hustles. What about being a social media influencer? A lot of businesses now are on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and they want to know how they can attract people to their business. Learn a little bit of graphics and then see how you can help people, attract people, and they will pay you for it. You can also be a blogger. You're good at certain things. Showcase it. I know of a particular lawyer who has been practicing law for about 10 years, who also is a great cook. You can check her page out. Ify's Kitchen. Ify was working as a lawyer, but was always constantly cooking. It got to a point that her followership on Instagram, Facebook was like a star followership. So people now were calling her for endorsement. Recently, she's resigned and she's facing the cooking full time because now she's getting enough resources from that cooking, and that she's just a natural hobby. She started by being a blogger, by just being, showing her skill as a side hustle, and now it's becoming something that is feeding her family, and bringing plenty money than even her law practice. You can do that too. What do you have? So be a blogger, be a YouTuber. To be a YouTuber, you need to have a certain number of people following you, and YouTube begin to advertise on your space, and then you begin to make money legitimately, and you're still in your 9-to-5. Hey, if I were you, I'll start doing that now. I said be a plant groomer. I mentioned that earlier. I love plants. If I find someone who will come and tell me about the name of the plant, the nature of the plant, how to keep the plant, I will pay. Someone gave me orchid, 2 years ago, and I've been nurturing it, waiting for it to bloom. I would have to go online to check, what are the signs, how do you nurture the plant, how do you feed it, and all those things. You can buy the bags. You can come and help them to tend the garden. This is very, very important, and these are things you can do. You can also be a real estate agent. What do I mean by that? People are always looking for accommodation, either to buy or to rent or to lease. So if you have access to that information, or you can start a mini site where you tell people if you want to dispose your house or your flat, you want to get it out to the market, talk to us. And then they talk to you. And then you be the middleman between the buyer or the leaser and the lessor. And then that becomes something for you. These are things you can do on your phone, on the internet, in your spare time, and it does not affect anything. There are many more. If you stay tuned to this YouTube channel, as I get them, I will be bringing them to you. I've talked a lot about the active one. What about the passive one? Royalties. You just don't write that good book. You don't just have that poem. You don't just have that music. You can patent it and make sure you put it to a marketing company, and they give you returns every month, every week, every year as the proceeds come in. Then investment in mutual funds or stock, or in your pension scheme and other people's businesses. You are not actively involved in the management of it, but your money is there working for you and you get your certain returns. What about crowdfunding? You don't want to do the farming, but you want to invest in farming. Look at legitimate people that are functioning in this space and then put your money. They will return money to you, sometimes on quarterly basis, biannually, annually, 18 months or whatever, depending on the gestation period of the plant they're engaging in. You can do all this and more. What am I saying? In your 9-to-5, you can still have side hustles that are legitimate. Don't say there is no time. When you say that, you block your mind. But when you say, how can I create time? You opens space for your mind to start thinking, and then it starts working. Remember, not all of us will be entrepreneurs, but all of us can be financially literate and can be financially comfortable. Remember, subscribe and follow, and join me in my next video coming out shortly.